Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Learn with Jason. This is our second one. Today's a double header. Today, we're wrapping up with Brian Douglas from GitHub. Brian, thank you so much for joining.
Hey, I'm happy to be here on the internet.
On the internet. So this is super exciting because you and I have crossed paths at a bunch of different like conferences and events. I've always been a huge fan of the way that you give talks. If you've ever seen Brian give a talk, it's usually very, very funny, and usually, or I think always, right? That's like your personal rule. Always involves Beyonce.
Uh, that and yeah, I try to inject comedy into my life and my work just to make it easier to swallow.
Mm,
Constantly preaching in the streets on using Git.
I get that. Totally get that.
Yeah,
So we got Ben Lannon in the chat. He is a huge advocate of GitHub Actions.
sweet.
So he's going to be checking my work today. I'm sure. Which I guess brings us to the point of today's episode. We're going to do some GitHub Actions work, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, we'll see how well we do and how we sort of get over the hurdle. I've done a lot of actions work and so actions came out in 2018
Mm-hmm.
October, and then we had a huge refresh back in August. So the way actions is be used and leverage is still about the same, but we also added CI as like an extra opt-in feature
Yeah.
to GitHub Actions, which has been great because it's sort of expanded my sort of automation piece and automating things like continuous delivery and adding linting to your project.
Yeah.
And so that's been a lot of fun.
Totally. And so, are actions out of beta now? Did they go to like general availability
So in 2 weeks, so
in
November
two
13th
weeks?
is the planned general launch.
Very
And
cool.
I think we're pretty much there. We definitely need a lot more people using it and like leveraging and kicking the tires on the feature. So if you're using, I don't know, Fortran and you want to use GitHub Actions, like please use it and then give us feedback. Um, so that way we can make sure that works for Fortran and all the Fortran developers out there.
Yeah. So, all right, let's do this. So we got GitHub Actions. I'm gonna dive into. Wait, is this the thing? No, I want this thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you haven't signed up for the beta, that was the site. So since we're
Oh, so
in
we do
beta,
want. Okay, so we want the beta. I'm in.
oh, you
Fortunately.
are okay.
Oh, at least I sure hope so. I have done one GitHub action. I don't remember which repo it was on, so
Okay.
I hope I have access. Um, if not, I guess we'll have an exciting episode of talking about all the possibilities. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so all right, so we've got GitHub Actions here, and the idea, if I can paraphrase, is that GitHub Actions are a way for us to write little scripted behaviors that we can trigger on different GitHub events.
Yeah, I mean that kind of pretty much sums it up. If I could take it a little more into and use some of my marketing speak I've been preparing for so long.
Yes, please do.
Uh, GitHub Actions is a way to automate your workflow. There are pieces of your workflow. Oh, sweet.
What up,
We've got
Chris
a
and friends?
nice. But yeah, there are pieces of your workflow that you could automate. So there are things that we do all the time. So the one I use, the example I use all the time is every time you open a pull request, like the first thing you do is go to Slack. Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. The sound effects are here. What up, everybody?
excellent. You've got your streaming system like down, like pat. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I was getting at is that you can automate things like like telling people that your PRs are ready to review. And there's obviously some other things you can also automate, which is things like CI. So just getting your
Hmm.
test to run once you push is also a great way to automate your workflow. So GitHub did a lot of work in the past couple of years of building these thing called primitives. So
Yeah.
primitives being like the GitHub API, which has been around for 11 years, as long as GitHub's been around. But then there's also things like JWTs, like authentication, webhooks, interacting with repos through like things like OctoKit, like all that's been bundled into a nice little package called GitHub Actions. And
That's awesome.
yeah, so that's kind of the longer marketing pitch. This is like more than just one thing. This is a lot of things, and it sort of gives you like an open book to sort of automate things on
Yeah.
your repos and your workflow.
So if I want to get started, is there a way for me to easily see whether or not I have access?
Yeah, I mean the best place to go is like your repo. So if you have any repos that don't have GitHub Actions already working,
Let's
yeah, it's like if you have a blog or a Gatsby site or something.
let's try this. This is the chat bot that runs on Twitch, and so we
Excellent.
can kind of play with PRs and stuff. And if we break it, it's okay.
Cool. So right off the bat, you can already see on the top you've got an Actions tab. So now you
Yeah.
have GitHub Actions. So my assumption is this is JavaScript because the heuristics is telling us that you can add Node.js.
Yeah, it's a little Node chatbot. It just runs in the background here, so it's like listening. So anybody who speaks, it'll pop in here. It's
Yeah.
cool, right?
Yeah. Do you have test on this already?
No, but we could write one. Like we could write it. I can write a Noop test, and we can run that.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to, well, let's go ahead and just add GitHub Actions first, and
Okay.
then that way when you write the test, you'll see that in the PR. So if you just clicked on that, set up this workflow on the
So
left.
this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is just going to create a commit, and right off the bat, you can see GitHub Actions is they're YAML files. So for you to run on specific events or different workflows,
Mm-hmm.
a YAML file is what the sort of like the place you're going to do all this in. And you can see like line 12. This is going to run on 3 different versions of Node. So you have the ability
Yeah.
to run a matrix of versions. This is also true for things like on line 8. It says Ubuntu.
Mm-hmm.
You could also do Mac OS if you wanted to. You could also do Windows.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah. So the cool thing about that is also this is one of the first places I've seen this on GitHub. But if you like were to backspace on the latest, it'll actually give you it should autocomplete on like different versions of what you're looking for. And
Wait,
if
it'll
you're
it'll autocomplete?
yeah, so go to the Ubuntu latest on line 8.
Yeah. So if I just start typing.
Yeah, it should. Oh, it
Oh,
almost
so
was
we would
there.
need to add code. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess maybe I'm thinking of more the keys. So I overspoke on that. So that is actually not a feature. But there's a feature where you could basically see what the thing you could write. So if you wanted to do a conditional to have this run only on failure
Oh,
or
yeah.
only run if this is a bot who's triggering this action, like you can do some other filters like that, which we can get to later.
Yeah.
But also on the right too as well, you can see there's a whole list of actions that are sort of linked from the marketplace. So
Mhm.
GitHub Marketplace is a e-commerce, I guess, platform for people to host their code and share their solutions.
Yeah.
A lot of bots are on GitHub Marketplace, but also a lot of GitHub Actions.
Yeah, this is very cool. Do
Yeah, this actually
Slack
just shipped last
stuff
week
and-
too as well. So this is like super brand new.
Yeah, this is all stuff that's like very new to me because I've built one action, and it was because I needed a cron job. And so that
Nice.
was like that was it. Like I built my cron job, and I was like, sweet. And then I was like, cool, done with actions. So
Well, but that's the beauty of it too as well, because like these primitives are put in place for you to get back to writing your code. So things that are like running your test or getting stuff deployed to whatever production server or staging server you want to get this out on, like we shouldn't have to spend hours or days or maintenance trying to make sure this stuff works.
yeah.
Like let's just throw this in a YAML file. Let's just make sure this works the first time, and then you can go back to writing code. And that's really the goal of what GitHub's sort of trying to do with this feature. I just also want to point out too as well, this documentation tab too on the right. So we're also, I don't think any other place in GitHub has this, but like we have inline documentation as well. So if you are curious of how to filter on branches, how to filter based on user, what sort of workflows or events that you're looking to trigger on.
This
At
is
the moment-
cool.
Yeah, at the moment, this is your cron job or two as well. But yeah, if you wanted to trigger on cron jobs, you can just use that syntax. And the syntax you're going to use is on, and then whatever the event.
Like up here, right? So up here we're saying like on push.
Yeah.
Now, why do you know why this is in an array? Could I would set this to be like on multiple things on push.
Yeah, so you can
something
do
else?
push comma pull request.
Oh,
So if you want to run,
nice.
technically it will run on pull request as well, because
Yeah.
the push and pull requests are going to trigger the same thing. Or they're going to trigger
Where-
different things that are going to happen.
Where would this show up if it's on a push, right? Because like on a pull request, I know I'm gonna get the the
Well,
view.
let's go ahead and save this, and then as soon as you create a commit on master, it's gonna create a push,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it's gonna trigger this action.
Let's see.
Yes.
Should I do? Yeah, I'll just do it straight.
Yeah.
Pushing to
let's see if it'll
master.
be
YOLO. All right.
So if you go to the actions tab, it should show the push happening. Oop. Well, should is in quotes.
Oh, here it is.
There we go. Yeah, this takes a little
Okay.
bit of time.
And I think
Server-side rendering for the win.
Yeah, I think what's gonna happen is let's pull up this bot. Let's go here, go to dev and blitz, and then we'll pop it open. Actually, let's push it too. We'll get checkout master, get pull. Okay. And so
So you can see there's actually a failure that this threw up too as well.
that would make sense because I don't think there's actually a test.
Kind of, yeah.
I don't think there's even a test command. The operation was canceled.
So we could look at the annotation right there on the right. It'll give you a little more insight. The job. I don't know what that. Actually, I should probably make my screen bigger so I can read stuff.
Oh, here we go. Here's the actual failure. CI PM can only install packages with an
Gotcha.
existing package lock. Oh, and I used Yarn. So I think my setup is a Yarn lock.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's some details or something we can Google to find out how to make that for Yarn.
Mhm.
Actually, the way we would do this actually is go in the action file and change that from npm to Yarn. So this is the default. Like the assumption is that you're using npm, but you could also make this Yarn. I assume Yarn has a CI command that also is very similar to npm. But going back to our Ubuntu environment, because this is a Ubuntu environment, we get all what you would normally get on the command line directly within this run flag. Now there is on line 17 there's setup node. This is a pre-built action environment, so this would be a VM that's running node, and that's going to give you stuff like npm and Yarn by default. Hopefully Yarn. We'll find out if Yarn's actually installed by default. I've actually haven't tried Yarn yet.
Yeah, I don't know what Yarn CI. Let's see what happens if I run Yarn CI. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, and honestly, CI is not really necessary. I think it's npm CI does the package.lock thing, but Yarn does have that for by default.
Okay, yeah, and so here I don't have anything. So what I'm going to do just to make this not fail is I'm going to add test, and we'll just echo.
Yep.
You should probably add tests. Yeah, that seems good. And then I'm going to take the build out because we don't have a build, and I don't know if that if present flag works. So let's save all that. What just changed? That's right. Oh no, I've got like
You've got some uncommitted commits.
Oh buddy. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add the GitHub and the index. No, the package lock. Okay. And we're gonna say it's a chore, and we fixed action, hopefully. Let's push it, and I think
That should trigger an action.
I sure hope so.
Where did that whole chore commit come from? I see a lot of people using that.
So it's there's a thing called, have you heard of semantic release?
Yes.
And so semantic release popularized the Angular commit convention, which is like a way to auto-generate change logs. So if you prefix with like feat, F-E-A-T, then it gets listed as a feature, and that'll bump the minor version. If you list it as a fix, it'll bump the patch version. If you add like a comment that says breaking and then a description of what broke, it'll bump the major, and it'll like auto deploy all of that. And so it's just a habit that I have now, to automatically. I never even set up semantic release anymore. Like I'm way too lazy to actually do it, but I I intend to. I really do.
Yeah. Well, there's probably a GitHub action that could do that for you.
You know what? That's actually a good idea. I bet that would be that. You know what? We could probably just add that today if we don't find one. We could build that out. But yeah, okay. So here we go. We run our npm install build and test. It echoes. You should probably add tests, and it works. So this is like our first very basic GitHub action. And so there's a couple things that I'm seeing here that I don't like. These are just basic things. So when we do action / checkout at v1, I assume that's just checking out the repo.
Yep. So this is actually, if you went to github.com/actions/checkout, is an actual repo. So the way GitHub Actions, you have two ways you could run them. You could either write the code in the repo you're working in and point it to there, or you could write it into a third-party repo and then point it from there. So Actions Checkout, this repository, essentially this checks out master for you. So if you open up a PR instead of pushing directly to master, you didn't have that version to be able to run test on.
Okay. Where did this plugin come from?
That plugin, that's a good question.
Is it this might be like internal stuff, right? So
yeah, well, it's some secret sauce. So what you were just looking at is the action.yaml. So if you went to the GitHub action tutorial, which is in the docs, it'll have you create an action.yaml. And this is like similar to like your package.json that tells you where your entry point is. So if you have an index.js, like your entry point will show up. Well, you'll point it to the index.js. If you wanted to run an action based on Docker, you could also point the entry point to a Docker file as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Getting started JavaScript one right there.
Getting started JavaScript.
Creating JavaScript action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a toolkit.
Yeah. This toolkit gives you a lot of the stuff out of the box, which is going to be a whole bunch of other.
Oh, okay. So this is what we were looking at. So like the core exec, get the OctaKit. This is freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this is great. So there are like a lot of things that we can do that allow us to avoid having to like reinvent a bunch of wheels, which is really handy. Okay. What should we do next? What up, chat? What should we do as a next thing? I'll stare you down. Trigger a deploy to GitHub pages. Use a Twilio action to send me a text message on build. That's actually kind of a funny idea.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if there wasn't already one out there. I know there's a Twilio action that exists. If you went to github.com/marketplace, you could search for Twilio and see if that exists already.
Marketplace. We'll go to Twilio. Send an SMS from GitHub Actions.
Yeah, so
that's fun.
Like it's got a phone number, and I think everything you need is right there. So the other thing, I don't know if you mess around with GitHub secrets at all.
Not really. So like this is something that I like. Okay, so here's what we should do. We should build something simple that uses secrets and like that we've got to code out just so that it like cements in my brain how all these pieces fit together. So let's maybe just build our own action, which like can I do that in here? I can just like name it whatever I want.
Yeah, so the way I've always approached this is I tend to make sure the code works locally,
Mm-hmm.
and then I move that file into my project,
Okay.
um, into like an action folder, and then it's very similar to like line 14 where you point it to an actual third party repo. Instead of pointing it to another repo, you point it to an actual file that's running the action.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so if I like, what is that folder? I don't even know what that folder is. We'll create
Yeah.
actions,
Yep.
and then in my actions, I can create, and this will just be like a JavaScript file.
Yeah, like index.js or tweet or text.js or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, let's call it text.js. And so in here would be just the code to write to send a
Yeah.
Twilio text message.
Yeah. So like your normal Twilio JavaScript SDK, which I have not got past guides, so this would be fun seeing how this works.
Let's see. I think I can. I have an account, and I believe we can just do like the basics here. We can kind of do a hello world thing. We won't, or actually no, we should totally add some basic stuff. So in here, I want to build a Twilio phone number. Oh, fine, I'll buy a phone number. What? I don't care. Can I just get one? I need SMS. Okay. Alabama. Let's do it. Okay. I've bought a number. Now I need to
Excellent.
set it up. And then what happens? So that I know that I can get rid of that later. We want voice, messaging. It's all fine. It's all fine. Okay. Okay, so I've saved that. And now if I go back here, go to SMS, I can create a new messaging service.
Seems like you've done this before.
I'm just clicking buttons.
Okay.
I think once a long time ago, I had this idea that I was going to do a notification service for this product of mine. And I don't think I ever actually finished it. So I was just kind of like, cool. But recently I did a workshop on how to build video chat with Twilio, which was super fun. But I haven't done any voice stuff with them for a long time. So now I'm kind of curious how this is going to go. Where was it? It was build and learn and build.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got what number is this? Oh, good. That's an old number. Don't text that person because they freaking hate me because I never told anybody that I changed my number. I don't really need to test it. I just want the code. How do I get? Oh, here we go. Node. Perfect. Okay.
Nice.
So I'm going to have to show an auth token. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this code and I'm going to bring it over here. And I'm going to then pull this off screen and pull this off screen so I can get this auth token. Because otherwise these hackers will start sabotaging us quickly. So now here's the other thing is I need to get these secrets, right? So
Yeah.
I want this to be like process.m.
You
Twilio
hackers,
auth token.
you dirty hackers.
That's y'all. That's what you did. And so then if I want to use this, how am I getting this?
So if we're gonna work on that bot repo, yeah. So go back to your repo in GitHub.
Got it? Bot?
Yep, and you can hit up that settings tab.
Okay.
and then you'll go scroll down to secrets,
Ooh.
and this is
Add
going
a
to
new
create
secret.
secrets on a repro level. So
Okay.
you can have any action that runs is going to look at these secrets. If you point to it, it will look at these secrets.
Can I do this on an account level?
Um, Not yet.
That would be
Yeah,
cool.
TBD. Yeah, we're obviously working on that, but not today.
Okay, so Twilio auth token. I'm gonna
Yeah,
drop
you can
this
take it off screen.
in, add it. Okay, so now I've got an auth token, and to show how that works, I can bring back this thing, and so I'll grab that out and create a new one, and we'll call this Twilio account SID. Is that what it's? Yeah. And then I drop this in here, hit add, and so now I can access both of these. And
Yes,
what's
but
cool
you'll
is
need one more step.
it looks like you've saved me from myself here because
Yeah.
I can't even show this again, which is
No.
like problem number one that I have is that I'm always like, yeah, and then it's in here and it's all safe. And then I click on it and it shows it. And I'm like, damn it, now I have to go reset this.
Yes.
Okay, so this is great. So to use it, what happens
Yeah.
next?
Yeah. So then you go back to your action file, because what's going to happen when that action gets triggered, it's going to create yourself an action environment. So in that Node.js.yaml,
Okay.
if you scroll down, you should be able to within the context. So we didn't really explain this, but the steps on 13, these are synchronous workflows that run top down.
Okay.
So if you see on line 22, you have an in variable,
Yeah.
which is going to be CI true. That was for the npm CI thing, the way
Right.
npm the CI. In that same sort of spot, you could also put just a comma and then add the same name. So it's going to be redundant, but you'll need to pass it through to the environment. So just hit a comma and then Twilio auth token.
Like here?
Sorry, new line. So this
Twilio auth token, not.
and then
Is that what we
yeah,
called it?
Twilio
Twilio auth token and Twilio account SID. Like this?
Yeah, but instead of true, you just do secrets dot Twilio auth token.
Do I have to put it in a thing?
I honestly don't think you need it, but I think it works both ways. But maybe just go with secrets dot Twilio auth token. If it doesn't work, then we know why.
Okay. Secrets.twilio account SID, spelled that wrong.
Yeah, and I'm seeing on line 15 and line 18, they're actually using the handlebars with the dollar. So maybe just go ahead and add them.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of versions of our YAML in the last couple months.
And I bet this is in the docs too. So if we look over here.
If you were editing this in your in the workflow file, it would actually show in the docs. Sorry, I have to go to the code.
Oh wait, I can just go right in here.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I edit it. That's so cool that just works. I love this inline documentation. This is such a nice this is beautiful. Somewhere in here there were secrets. I saw them. Environment variables. I swear I saw.
If not, you'll have to go to click through to the actual docs.
The docs. All right.
Yeah. Inside baseball, when I worked at Netlify, and we were trying to come up with a name for these inline documentation things.
Yeah.
I think Rafa was calling them doc blocks for the longest time. I'm not sure if that changed internally, but I call them doc blocks just from that experience.
Did I miss this somewhere? Building actions. Environment variables. I know you're in here.
Yeah, and this is where I just click through a lot of times. There's also a search box on the top too as well, powered by I think Algolia. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that since it's actually not branded, but it looks like it.
I believe it's in here somewhere. We're gonna see it. Sensitive data.
Nah, this is actually searching all documentation on GitHub now.
Yeah. Context environment variable. So env, my env var,
Yeah.
and then expression.
Yep.
And so the context can be secrets. But yeah, it's got to be one of these.
Yeah, and the
But
cool thing, this is also borrowed from the way OctaKit works as well. That context block or
okay.
object. You do have context of like, if you want to know if you want to send a text message of what branch was merged, or who merged it, or who was the owner, or all those details in GitHub, you can actually pass that through as well.
That's
Through
cool.
environment as well.
So I could just say like in here, if I were to say like GitHub true, it would pull that through, or am I misunderstanding?
It'll pull it through here as well. But also, you don't have to actually pass the secrets. You do have to pass through,
Uh-huh.
but the context you don't actually have to physically pass through. So you will have like an event path and some details about the action that was triggered, without needing to pass it through an environment variable.
Nice. Okay.
And we'll see this. We'll see this when we actually start triggering the action.
So
we can start console.logging stuff.
So this looks like it's locked to this step. So if I want to use this in a different step, I would need to set up the end separately.
Separately, or you just pull it up. So if you scroll up to, higher up to where it says jobs, so if you think of the context of this build job, that's you can name that to build project or whatever you want to name it to. It just has to need a hyphen if you want to space it.
So this is the name.
Yeah, so you could actually throw M's on this level.
Oh, okay, nice. Let's do that here because I think that's really what we're after. And we don't really need this CI thing because we're not running npm CI, so I'm going to drop that. So we've got in our build, we're running our end environment. Oh, thanks so much for the subscription, Magnificode. So yeah, let's see here. We've got our environment variables are now declared at the top level, which means they'll be available in all of these steps, which seems like the right thing. And then if I want to use this, I would need a new one that is send a text message. And then that would uses, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you could use not uses, because uses is going to be for like third party.
Oh, I got
I would
you.
go with actually, it's been a while since I looked at this, so I'm gonna have to look at a previous project.
That's all right. We're
Misspoke. I think uses and uses is fine. I was thinking you do runs, but you don't actually want runs because that's like doing command line stuff.
And then is this just like straight up relative thing?
Yeah, except it's going to go by your root. So since your action folder is in the root, you only need one period and a slash.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I can handle that. All right, so we're going to do this. That's going to execute that thing, and then this environment variable, so that'll go into the process.env, so I can just grab it like this?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Should be, ideally. Did a lot of this in Python and Ruby. I've actually not done a Node one before, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, we'll see how it goes. And then for this, I'm going to pull in another one just because I like you, chat, but I don't think we're on a phone number basis yet. So let me go in and add another one of these. Actually, I'll call it Twilio phone number. And then we'll say Twilio phone number. Okay. And I'm going to create a new one here.
And I realize we might have skipped at step 2 as well.
Okay.
Actions needs to know how to run the file. So we'll need an actions.yaml as well, which I don't think we created yet. So if you've messed with like the serverless world, serverless framework, it's quite similar.
Okay. Okay, so I've added what is happening? It got away from me. All right, so I've got a phone number saved in here so that we can actually test this. and that's set up to use this. And you said we need to add a serverless.
Sorry, action.yaml, which I don't know if you're looking at this chat here, but just throwing in.
I can look at this chat.
Yeah, it's just a link directly to the docs where there's an example.
Okay, so the challenge that we run into with this, actually, how can I do this? All right, I'm running cross computer here. Please hold while I figure out how to do this.
I could actually find the Twitch.
No,
chat
it's all
too.
good. I can put it in the Twitch chat. Okay, so I put it in the Twitch chat, which means that now I can open it over here.
Excellent. I'm actually I haven't actually opened up the Twitch chat. I haven't figured that out yet.
Oh yeah, it's you would just go to twitch.tv/jlangsdorf, and then you follow along. So create an action metadata file. So I've got action in the hello world. Okay, and so this just sits right at the bottom. Okay, I think I need adult supervision here.
So yeah, this file would actually live in the root as well.
Okay,
And
so
this is like the trick for actions to know actions exist. An action that you wrote exists.
Okay, so I'm going down to the root, and then I'm going to add a new file called action.yaml. Okay, and inside of this, I'm going to name it. And so we'll say text.json description. Let's make sure this wraps. And then we've got inputs.
So we don't have, I don't know if we'll have inputs, but these are going to be like exactly what they think about, like arguments.
Okay. Oh, okay. And so the inputs, let's come back to that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then outputs is just something that I can, that'll go back to GitHub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, also something that's also not, we could probably hold on.
Okay.
I think the most important part at this point is the runs.
Okay.
Which sounds silly to say out loud with no context, but yeah.
So we'll run it on node 12, it looks like.
Yep.
And then the main, I'd just do a relative path, so actions text.js.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So now this should set us up so that when GitHub gets this, it knows that if we say use, or wait, is that how we do it? We say like use text.json or?
Yeah. So this is we're incepting because we're all doing this all in the one file. So when that node.js.yaml gets hit on the push, it's going to run your regular CI, and then it's going to run, after that, it's going to run text.json.
Okay. And to actually reference that here, we do.
Yeah, we have it in synchronous steps here. So
like this?
Oh, yeah, we can reference it. Sorry, referencing it in what way?
Well, like how do we actually tell it to do it? Or is it it's gonna run this?
It's going to run. So basically what we're doing, if you go back to Node.js YAML, you're pointing to actions.text.js.
Yeah.
And then when it hits that file, it's going to say, oh, how do I run this file? Like, what do I do with this thing? And that actions.yaml is going to say, okay, this is the work. This is how we do it.
Okay. I understand. So we do need to reference it, but when we reference it, this kind of maps what we're doing.
Yeah. And let me just check my notes too, real quick, just to make sure I'm being honest that the action.yaml should be in the root and not inside that action folder. If not, I think we'll find out really quickly if we just run it.
I mean, yeah, we can like I said, it's totally fine if we break this, so we can just see what happens. I'm going to do that actually. Let's add GitHub action stuff. Good. push it, and we'll see what happens. So I've got actions. We got a thing running. And assuming all goes well, I should start getting text messages, and I should, in theory, get 3 of them, right? Because we're running this 3 times.
No, so this is the CI itself is running separate from the text message. So it's going to be a separate workflow.
Oh, interesting.
So you could either keep the CI running, or you could run the text message by itself. But the text message won't run until the CI completes. So like if this could be a feature or a bug or whatever you're looking to get out of this. But it looks like we did get a failure.
What failed?
Failure on the CI. Oh no, we got a failure on the text station, which I think was expected.
Can't find action.yaml.
Okay, so we might have to put that under the actions folder.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So my sort of I guess unsurety was legit, and that should probably be in the same folder the file's running.
Okay, so we pull this up here, and then that means that the relative path changes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then that should be it. It should work now.
Yep. Yeah, and my unsurety is because my experience with Action so far has just been Docker files. So not everybody knows Docker, so the beauty is now we have an actions.yaml file. But you could still run Docker files and point to your entry points. It's just now that your action.yaml gives you a consistent syntax to make this work now. I just haven't taken the time to learn how to not use Docker.
I gotcha. Okay, so we've moved that back to our actions. We've got the push going. It's doing its thing.
Sorry, I was on mute. There is ability to cache these CI builds as well. Because right now
cool.
we're npm installing every time.
Mm-hmm.
If you went to github.com/actions/cache, you can add that. If you get tired of watching it run. Action checkout. Okay.
Well, it says it still can't find action.yaml. Did I break this? Okay, so Ben is saying that it needs to be uses like .root. What? Okay, so technically wouldn't you do / to say where the action.yaml is, and then it will go downward? Uses points to where the action.yaml lives. Okay.
Oh, so then, gotcha. So if you go to the workflow file, if I understand, I guess, was it Ben?
Yeah.
Is that this should not be test.js, this should be action or actions.
Or this one shouldn't. This should be text.js, but in the Node.js, we want
it should be actions.
Like that?
Yeah, but I don't think you need the last slash.
Okay.
And
all right. Okay. Chat's happy again. Let's add GitHub. Right? Okay. Make Ben happy. Push. I appreciate you, Dom. All right, so let's try this one more time. And show me a potato salad. I didn't like something. Oh, it's missing. Okay, that one is on me.
Yeah, this is, I don't think we actually added the...
yeah, we just forgot to write the rest of the code. Okay, so I need to yarn add Twilio. And we didn't use anything else? Nope. Okay. Hopefully this doesn't break the bot, but I'm just going to commit everything that I did.
You could actually create a PR if you want. And since we're checking at master, it should
Whoops.
run off the PR instead of master?
Yeah, it should. Let's do that. Oh. Now all my shortcuts don't work anymore. There we go. Oh man, I love Hub so much. Just my whole life gets so easy. All right, so this is in place.
Yeah,
Go into our actions.
One thing to note too as well, the GitHub knows that you have an action in this file now. It's asking you to publish it on Marketplace too as well.
Where?
If you go back to the homepage, the repo.
What?
Yeah, so having the action on YAML does a bit of that work for you. So.
Oh, that's so cool. All right, so I think something blew up, and it says, but you can find Twilio. Oh,
so this might also. So this is my I guess my ignorance of not using Node yet for actions. You might have to use like something like NCC or something to bundle the Node modules.
Oh, so yeah, Ben's saying the same thing. It doesn't install Node modules by default, so I would need to run.
Well, you could do like an npm install.
Just do yarn.
Or yarn add Twilio.
Well, I don't even think we'll need to, because this would install Twilio, but I wasn't actually doing that.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So let's do that. We're gonna commit all. We'll say chore run install origin feature actions. We're gonna get here, I believe. All right. Where are you at?
Failures.
It's okay. Each one is a lesson learned.
Yeah, and thanks to Git, you can see all your mistakes in history.
I will say this is far and away like my most sensible Git commit history that I think I've ever written. Now what do you want? Message body is required. Oh, did I leave it blank?
We're getting somewhere.
We're getting way closer now.
Crossed over dependency, and now it's whatever
but
Twilio wants.
Yeah, this is good. This is where we want to be. Where the hell is my Twilio stuff? Did I move it all? I appear to have lost my whole Twilio thing. I'm just gonna look at the thing here, and we'll say we're looking for messages.
Oh.
What? Don't tell me that. Here we go. Code examples. TypeScript, get out of here. Messages create. All right, so I just need to do one of these. So we'll say the message. Ooh, I already have an idea for how we can do some input and output here. So I'm going to try this. I think this is going to work because it's valid now. And then I want to get the username of whoever pushed. So it'll text me. All right. Git add, or we'll commit. Wow, I can do this. Add a message body.
This just worked.
15th time is a charm.
Oh, so we would need to add code.
We sure did. All right, where's it at? Here. Back to actions. Here's our run. It's all doing what it's supposed to do. Good.
Son of a biscuit.
Oh, nothing yet. It's not time. Oh no. Wait, but I did add a body. Maybe I should read the documentation.
Message. Oh, the field is body, not message.
Oh, did I just like do the thing wrong?
I think the You got to name the key.
Oh, I'm really bad at somebody like. Isn't this great? This is like.
I wish I had a chat for all my code.
Isn't it good? Like, I would get so much less done if it wasn't for these sassy little punks teaching me things. It's not a chore; it's a fix. Fix. Actually set a body. I do not have a post about my stream setup. However, I have a page that has some of my stream setup that I haven't updated
No, this will
yet.
work. This will work.
Yes.
I do have intentions of writing up an actual setup. That's the wrong thing. I'm going to this one, get into our actions. Gonna look at this.
Yeah, I'd be intrigued.
Hey!
to see
Oh, snap, y'all. Okay, here we go. Look at this. It's probably not going to be in focus, but I've got my 3.
Oh, it ran 3 times.
It did run 3 times, but that's
yes.
because we ran it on a matrix.
Yes,
So-
the matrix will run. Yeah. So there's options to make that not run 3 times. Since we have it in a sync, right now we're relying on the build in like asynchronous steps.
Mhm.
We could actually create a whole nother job called Twilio tweets or whatever Twilio. Actually, you don't have to create another file.
Oh, for real?
I'd recommend I'd recommend this not be a separate file. So yeah, if you just call this Twilio and then instead,
up.
pull that up because I think that's just going to be specific to Twilio.
Okay.
And then I would then take everything under that's message specific. Basically, that's the last 2 lines.
Okay, so we need to do steps.
Yeah, well, you don't actually have to do steps because there's not going to be steps.
Well, I need to install. So the first
Oh,
one would be
that's right.
like install dependencies, and that's going to, what was it? Run,
Yeah,
and then
you just put yarn.
that's easier than trying to figure out what the syntax is for YAML. And then this is just that there, and so we'll have access to the environment there. And this no longer really needs to. I guess it probably would if it was a real test, so I'll leave it. Did you say there was a way to cache?
Yeah, if you go to GitHub Actions.cache, so then that Actions org. This Actions org is actually open source. It's maintained by GitHub employees in the Actions team, but there's a lot of open source that happens in there too as well. It should be,
Cache node
Pretty much.
modules.
all that is just needed.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's what I want. Let's do that.
Yeah, I think the difference would be just not the package lock.
And I don't need to install this. It's just available.
No, yeah, it's going to be a third-party action that we're going to be running. I think there's actually in there is a yarn example though. If you just wanted to copy and paste that instead of change everything.
There is a yarn example.
Go to examples just above, just below what you copy and pasted. Or I guess that it goes to that example MD file. And then yarn.
Okay.
Yeah, so that way you don't have to find and replace node or npm with yarn.
Got it. Yeah, and it would have been weird anyways because different things would have happened. Okay, so I'm gonna use this, and is it gonna run? That seems.
Yeah, so what it's gonna do? It's gonna create a cache for your node modules. And I'm curious because I haven't tried this across builds to see if it actually caches per build, if you have to do it twice or not. But the one thing you do need to do is there's a keyword needs. You want to run the text messaging based on if the CI passes. If that makes sense.
So tell me what that actually looks like.
So if you go up to Yeah, under Twilio.
Mm-hmm.
Just put an enter and then needs, and then build.
Oh, interesting. So if build fails, then this won't run at all.
Yeah, and there's like you can do conditionals if you wanted to run this on failure instead.
Yeah.
Then you could say run this tweet instead. So like create a whole nother tool text.js like fail.js, and then run fail.js instead of text.js. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Do I need to set like what will this just get automatically set, or should I pull that across too?
Oh yeah, you should do that environment as well. I actually think you need that. I don't think it will run without it.
Okay. That was another hot tip from Ben in the chat. Thank you for keeping us honest today. Appreciate you. Yeah. All right. Let's commit this. And now only run once if build succeeds. It's kind of a dishonest build. It's not a build. It's an echo. It's a no-op. Let's see. Go into our actions.
Think of how fast our code runs without any test. Or how fast to build this.
It really is nice and quick, isn't it? Okay. So this is our node CI, which is what we want. It's getting the cache. Okay,
Yeah,
so this time it's running.
Yep.
Good. It's doing the thing. All right.
And then it's gonna create another action file, which is
once
hopefully
the
gonna
other
call-
one finishes.
Yeah, because now we're in separate build territory.
Yeah. So we're waiting on this one. Good. All right, so that's complete.
And then sorry, it's not gonna be another file. Each action so if you created a twilio.yaml, it would be another file, but this thing popped up as soon as everything was. So that needs thing prevents this one from running.
I understand. Okay.
Yeah. So some things I didn't mention too as well, like you can have up to 20 jobs, based on like the free tier for GitHub Actions, and you'd have 20 jobs run at the same time. So if you wanted to prevent some jobs not to run because you're doing a ton of really awesome DevOps stuff,
Yeah.
you can use that needs flag to say, okay, well, make sure these 10 run before. And the needs is also you can do the whole parenthesis thing and do the comma for each build.
Yeah.
So if you need like 4 of them to run before you actually run this one, then you can go do that.
So I would set it up like if I had, let me pull this back up. If we had other jobs, like we have build here,
Yeah.
if we had like a lint,
Yeah, or a
and
tweet or whatever.
Yeah. Then up here we could just do like lint build like that.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, so you want those two to finish because these are going to be asynchronous. So you have no guarantee on which one's going to run first unless you do that needs felt. So the steps is the guaranteed of having synchrony.
And why'd you fail? Oh, interesting. Okay, so we broke something.
Yeah, and I think it was the if you go back to the file, I wonder if we forgot to bring something up.
So we got this environment variable down here. We got.
Are we pointing to the action folder?
Do I need to do the setup node and stuff?
Oh, looks like you need that checkout. Actions that checkout.
Do I need, because we need to be able to use node.
Yeah, that also you probably need that too as well because that's going to be
That seems
the
like.
environment.
Is there a way to like do a before all kind of thing?
That's a good question. I have not done. I've not. All my simplistic examples have never got that advanced. I want to say they're going to be all specific to builds, though.
Okay. Ben, are you saying that we don't need this block? Like if I leave this out? Let's try it. I'm going to try it. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work, that's great because it's less code. If it
Yeah. Ben has not stared us wrong yet.
Yeah, he's been very helpful so far. So let's see. It's a fix and we are check out repo first. All right. And now we should also get to see whether or not this runs way faster this time because the code is cached. So these should run hopefully significantly faster.
Yes. Yeah, I want to say there was a I forgot what project it was, but they switched over. Oh, Ruby on Rails. They switched to using the cache, and they like killed 7 minutes off their CI.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was in the blog post that came out, I think, either yesterday or today.
And then is this, I want to pull up here while we're looking. I'm going to pull up this pull request. Oh, I didn't open a PR yet, did I?
No, yeah, I think we've been running on push. I'm sorry, running on the branch the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because basically, if we ran this on pull request, then we would need that. But since we're running on push, it's gonna find everything and run our action on it.
Well, this cache seems to have cursed us.
Uh-oh. Hopefully we didn't break it. It did run. I did see the cache hit the last one. So
Yeah, it was like the cache worked, but it like hadn't actually cached, so it just kind of like booted.
yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Must be a message. You have exceeded all your free tier.
Oh,
Just kidding.
that would be sad, wouldn't it? Let me get that off the screen. Just in case something got sent to me.
It's that age-old joke, cache rules everything around me.
That's right.
It's never going to get old. Speaking of which, if anybody wants to watch that Wu-Tang show on Hulu, I highly recommend it. It's really good.
What's it called?
I think it's called Wu-Tang, an American Saga. Or is that the...
Yep.
Yeah, I think I got it. It's pretty good. Also, Hulu, you can download shows. So if you want to pay for the free month, get the free 7 days, download all that stuff. Watch
Yeah.
it real quick. Cancel.
That's cool. So is this a documentary, or did they like cast people to play?
This is based off RZA's book. So RZA is that guy you're looking at right there on the front.
Yeah.
He wrote a book, and then they created a show. It's like not 100% accurate. It's kind of like
Sure.
glamorized a bit. But it goes through like a lot of the origin story of Wu-Tang, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So I just watched. I'm like way behind the curve on this one, but I watched that HBO miniseries, the Defiant ones on Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine, and like, did you watch that one?
No, I haven't.
It was good, man. I think.
Someone's asking me if I found someone for contracting on my component library, and the answer is people have reached out, but I haven't reached out back. So I will message people in my DMs probably after this.
Yeah. So anyways, hip hop documentaries aside, that's a good one. You should go watch that. I'll go watch the other one. Something is wrong. Like it's not booting. So
yeah, I wonder if we could cancel that check suite and just try again.
Yeah, we're going to cancel this one.
Yeah, and I think it should cancel all of them. Yep, it canceled all of them.
Canceled all of them. But are you done? All right, you're done. All right, so let's do.
I don't. Maybe it was the comments that were thrown off.
That'd be super weird, but let's do it.
Yeah, I don't think comments should be fine.
I don't know what YAML comments look like actually, so could have been a whole other ball of problems.
Oh yeah, no, it should be pound signs. Yeah, but yeah, if you just push without the comments, and we'll just re-trigger it and see if something beta got hung up.
I was trying to think of something funny to say, but I got nothing. Okay, so we got a fresh push, fresh actions.
Yeah, nothing like a fresh push. Start your CI. Starting your workflow.
All right, do it. I wonder if maybe there's just like a queue or something.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a queue. I'd be surprised if there's like a people are all in line because this Learn with Jason's so popular. Everybody's now following along. Yeah.
It's the curse of the demo gods. We flew too close to the sun.
Yeah. Well, Ben's saying is sometimes it does take some time. I've seen it take some time and then
It would be neat
hit.
if this just worked.
Yep. But yeah, I think okay. So that takes a little bit of time. And then while we are looking at this, it seems to me like what we probably want, or actually, here's a question. Can I run these per job? Like, could I move these down? Or would I need to create separate files?
Yeah, I think at that point you want to have separate files.
Okay.
So if you wanted to have separate jobs, sorry, maybe I'm overthinking this. What are you looking to do?
Well, I was thinking like, so if I wanted the Twilio thing to run on every push and on pull request, but I wanted the build to run just on push or something. Thanks for coming by, Trevor.
Actually, you could do a conditional, which is this if. So right now it's running on push, but if you want the CI to only run on pull request, then...
And is it pull request like this?
Yeah.
Okay. And so if I wanted, let's say I don't want the build to run on pull request.
So if you just go if, and then yeah, I would say if push. If you wanted to, sorry, you wanted to run on pull request or not?
Now let's have it run on push only.
Okay, so then it should be if push,
Okay.
but I think it's gonna be something a little bit different than that. It's gonna be like GitHub.action equals push. Looks like one build run, which is I think we're just
Got one
having
running. Oh, we're going.
Yeah,
we're moving.
Almost 5 o'clock
Showtime.
somewhere, so I think the build bots are having a beer early. Running on half capacity.
Okay, so
if you go to the actually, if you just went to the file on GitHub, it's got all the documentation there.
which one?
Yeah, looks like
Ben
might have just threw it
Ben's
there.
got a link.
Yeah, so we were looking at this already with like the context, but yeah, if GitHub event name is pull request.
Oh, nice.
Do this.
Oh, and then so we need to use pull _ request.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here, and then here, it is GitHub.event name equals pull request. That seems fine.
Yeah. There's more context you could add to that.
And we don't need to wrap this?
Go back to the docs real quick. This would just be, so yeah, this will just go under the job.
Oh, expressions in an if conditional do not require the brackets. For more information,
Gotcha.
I'm going to pretend like I'm going to go read this link. I'm probably not going to go read this link.
There's a really cool GitHub action that runs. You can run JavaScript directly inline in the action file, and I think this is using a little bit of that. Okay. Stuff is working.
Things are happening.
I was right about the happy hour happening right now.
So we got through the builds, no failures. So that's good news. And then what I wanted to do is the other thing I wanted to show is, because I believe by adding pull requests, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that how I get the action checks in my pull request, the little status deals?
It should all since it's on push. So push.
Well,
is
yeah,
be inclusive of pull request. You should still have a status box if you just opened up a PR.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do that right now because I haven't pushed that yet. And so I want to, let's see, that should happen in a second here. In the meantime, I'm going to do this.
So on the pull request opening, the pull request event is going to be on creation. So when a pull request happens, this will be triggered. But technically, you don't have pull requests happening right now. but then any subsequent like push that's going to happen after you open up the pull request, it will show in this box as well.
Okay, so I do need, if I want it to show up on the initial, we need to add this first.
Yes.
All right, so let me actually save this first, and then we'll do the thing. So we'll do commit add pull request support, and we're gonna push. All right, and then let's just add this. I think that's what we want, but let's just refresh and make sure that. There we go. There's our PR support. All right, I'm gonna create this pull request. Where are my checks? Come on. There we go. There we go. This is what I wanted. So this is super cool because like I know maybe this is like a weird thing to be into, but I'm so into these little status boxes on PRs, and like I love it when they all go green and then it's like pow.
Yeah, I mean, hey, no judgment free zone right here. So we all have our things. My
only wish is that there was an option to keep them shown after they all pass. Because the auto collapse is a little confusing, especially because like some of us are using them as like an example at Netlify, we use it to add a link to the deploy preview. Yeah. And it gets smushed. And so it's like, yeah, but, so, I mean, it's easy enough to just click this show all checks.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I have a GitHub action and a GitHub bot called Loglify, and it actually creates a deployment preview. So GitHub shipped last year a couple different things. GitHub shipped a lot of things in the last year, but one thing was Checks API, which is what we're looking at right now. The other thing is Deployments API. So if you went to github.com/bdougie/loglify, that actually, you don't need to actually put the deployment preview back into the checks. You can actually create a whole deployment separate box.
Okay. So if you show me where I go.
Yeah. So this, if you scroll down to the README, there should be an example. So then you could have this box here. Oh. I built this mainly because my awareness of what Netlify does, and I was hoping that someone at Netlify would just do this like natively in the API, but no one has done this yet because I don't think they are aware that you can do this. But
dude, essentially, I had no idea. Yeah.
Instead of trying to uncollapse that box,
I'm literally sending this to the team right now.
Yeah, they should definitely take us over. Honestly, I've been trying to write a blog post on this and share this, but I'm too busy to circle back and talk about the stuff I already shipped.
I feel this pain. But so check this out. So it went through. We got our 3 builds. It then sent the Twilio, and I have my text message that someone pushed to Blitzbot. So all of that is very cool, and it like just capital just worked. Like how cool is that?
The other cool thing would be that you had mentioned this. I don't know if we have a hard stop in like 15 minutes, but you had mentioned you wanted to pass in an argument of who actually did the commit, or sorry, did the push.
Yes, let's do it. I think we can do it in 15 minutes. I believe in us.
Well, I know we can do it because in the process.env, there's going to be an environment variable called GitHub actor, and that's going to be whoever pushed.
Wait, like just already? I don't even need to add something in?
Nah, yeah, you don't have to add anything in. It's just going to be
making this so easy for me.
So if you did like the string interpolation in JavaScript.
So it's the we'll call him the pusher. Process.env. What was it? GitHub
actor.
Just like that?
Yes. And that's going to be the person who made the change. And this is also detailed in documentation too, if you
that's cool.
Feel like you want to do that.
All right, so let's push this, and I'm gonna or where am I? Did I already merge this? I didn't. All right, so let's add this. Add the pusher. And we'll push that up. Okay. And It's running them again. I love that. I assume it's going to show us in a second that that's not actually the case.
Yeah, it
There
should
it
have.
goes.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. This takes a second to go up to space and back.
You got to give it a second. It's going to space. Okay, I'm so excited for this to work. I'm like just staring at my phone. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, do it. Let me see. Do I still have
The
my...
unprocessed environment variable send the push. Hopefully it doesn't say that.
This might just work. Okay, while we're waiting for this other check to run, which is going to fire up any second now, I'm going to just try to open up the messages on the web thing because that makes it much faster and easier to show off. Look at that. We got it.
That's awesome. I'm really glad that worked the first time. Doing it all from memory.
No, it was that's perfect. So, and this is great because now what this means is we have the ability to keep track of who's pushing to a repo. So and this is overkill for like every push. But
yeah,
if you were to set this up as like whenever somebody merges to master, you just get a quick note.
Yeah,
that's pretty slick.
There's also some like other context you could probably work with this. Like if you wanted to keep track of who's merging or who's merging when, what time, like all the data is available to you in other environment variables. That are not just a GitHub actor. And then you can create your own little dashboard or spreadsheet or whatever. If you're really, I've talked to a lot of open source maintainers and like everybody's got their own secret sauce and some people are really into keeping track of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like, go crazy.
And I was just so Nick De Jesus in the chat just asked, "Can GitHub Actions make me breakfast?" And yeah, kind of, because like I bet Uber Eats or one of these companies has an API, and you could set up a cron job that would just send an order in every morning.
yeah, there is. There's an action actually where somebody, if the CI passed, they have like an IoT device that's hooked up into a candy dispenser next to them on their desk, and so whenever the CI pass, candy gets dispensed from their candy machine. It was a tweet. You probably find that pretty easily.
It's so good, and it's really like taking us one step closer to that idea of just like living in our little cubicles, and we've got our food dispensers, and
it's like the Pavlov's dog.
Yeah,
like
it really
green, and that's when we know we get a treat. I know we're really killing this joke.
I love it. I'm way into it. All right, so I'm gonna merge this. Okay, so we probably don't have time to add anything else, but what we can do is we can show up. Like where should people go find you?
Yeah, you could find me on Twitter at bdougio. So holla at me. I am the Beyonce advocate at GitHub, and I'm bdougio on GitHub. So there's a little distinction.
The Beyonce advocate. It's so good.
Yeah. Really, in case Beyonce shows up, people know who to tell at GitHub. So
good.
That's my goal.
I'm into it. I'm very into it. So we've got your Twitter, we've got your GitHub. Anywhere else people should go?
I think Twitter and GitHub's good. Like if you are really sleuthy, you could email me, but I won't give that out. You'll have to find it.
Sleuthy.
Yeah, and then I guess if you don't mind, I have a quick plug of that project that I tweeted out earlier. It's called Open Sourced.
Yeah, let's find it. Where is it?
Yeah, go back to my GitHub. I guess it's right there. There we go. Yeah, Open Source is a project to sort of find your next open source contribution. It's still work in progress. I basically took some time out to learn how to do design and sketch, and I'd love to get help on that. But essentially, hopefully this won't break. It's all built on GraphQL. Sweet. Yeah, so since you don't have any goals, you can create a goals workspace. And the entire thing, the whole backend is built on top of GitHub. So I'm like really stepping into the jam. And everything's hosted on Netlify. And then the backend creates a GitHub repo for you. And then your goals for contributions to GitHub projects are then going to be on GitHub repos. This might break though. I'm actually
Try
deleting
it.
this page.
What's happening? Oh, so
It's going to
this
show you
is
some
not where you
issues.
want to go.
Yeah, you can click it. It should. No, I broke it. Yeah, I literally deleted it this morning and I undid it because it broke stuff.
Oh,
But
it
again,
went to me.
yeah, work in progress.
This is cool, man. I like this. This is super cool. So definitely go check that out. Share that in the chat. All right, and with that, I think we're all set. So, chat. What? Ben's got a thing. What's up, Ben? He's like, no follow up. Also, me.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Sarah Dressner's got a thing.
How do I? Yeah.
Definitely check out.
All right, so let's check this. Sarah Drasner has a collection of actions.
Yeah, we didn't talk about too many other use cases besides our tweet per push. But here's a whole list of actions that you can actually check out and see if they fit your use case. Not just like you have CI here for a ton of different languages, but
oh yeah, so here's like creating releases and uploading release assets. The first time contributor stuff, that is freaking sick. Setting things up. Status badge. What? Anyway, is the status badge just like literally any workflow?
Yes.
It's beautiful. I love it. It's so good. Yeah. All right. Amazing. So amazing. Okay. Yeah. Go check this out, y'all. Definitely go do that. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do on Learn with Jason is tomorrow we're doing a stream at what time? We're doing this stream at 10:30 Pacific. And it's going to be Ryan Chenke. He is going to be showing me something called nest.js. And we're going to be building a website for Graph Collective using Gatsby. So I've literally never heard of nest.js, and I don't know what he wants to use it for. So I'm going in even more clueless than usual. But I've known Ryan since he worked at Auth0. It's going to be a lot of fun. It should be a good like website building episode, which I feel like we haven't done one of those in a while. So yeah, chat, get ready for that. In the meantime, we are going to. No, you know what, Eco? I'm doing more this week because I was out for like a month and a half at React India, and then I was on vacation, and then I was on the Jamstack Conf. So I'm just like stoked to be back at home and able to do this stuff. But yeah, chat, hang tight. We're gonna raid. Brian, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. This was an awesome experience, and I'm glad everything mostly worked.
Everything totally worked. We got there. All right, man. Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll see y'all next time.
All right.